Alright here, and welcome to day 5 of One for All versus the OU tier. Cannot wait to get into it. Team's performing pretty well so far, and I hope that trend continues. We're on an even win-to-watch ratio at the moment. Let's hope we can get a bit ahead, and without further ado, let the battles begin. Our first battle, which looks to be pretty scary with the Galarian Slowking plus the Iron Threads. In combination with that Blaziken too, it's going to be a very tough matchup. Who do I think they're going to lead off with? I'm guessing the Iron Threads. They could also lead Landorus, but Marina's really good either way. So that's who I'm definitely going to go into, as they lead off with their own pre-Marina. So right here, I do want to just straight switch out into Amy. I do not want to get Marina any type of damage, as they do just go for the Moonblast. And now we can just reliably go for the knockoff on the Landorus here. Reveals to be Rocky Helmet. We can always just go now into Dapper, as they will opt to just go for Stealth Rocks. At this point in time, I don't see an issue just with Will-O-Wisp, as they reveal the taunt. We have to String Steam now. Most likely go switch into Galarian Slowking, as they will take some more Rocky Helmet chip, which is fantastic, as they will go into Galarian Slowking. We can just bring back out in our Amy. We do have the Roll Breaker, as they will just go for Future Sight. We can now just go for a Gigaton Hammer on the Landorus, which is fantastic, and we get a crit, which definitely mattered if that was defensive. So that was awesome to see. Amy gets the first KO, and I really like that Amy's a bit more offensive now, and we rely a bit more on the Assault Vest for our bulk, as they will now go into Blaziken, which is a very scary mom. We'll have to go back into Dapper here. As this is mainly the only physical threat left, and as we get taken down with the Future Sight, which is very unfortunate, we have to go into Marina here, and we'll have to go for the Surf, as they will switch out, which is fantastic. They will bring back in Galarian Slowking. We can always just bring back an Amy. Completely forgot about that Future Sight right there. And as they will just go for the Chilly Reception back into Blaziken. At this point, I could let Amy go down, because we can still tell it in 0 later on. And get the KO that way, and try get some nice damage off on this mom. So I think that's what we're going to do. We just go stay in, let Amy go down, unfortunately. Then we can bring in Marina. We can just now opt to go for Psychic Noise to predict the Galarian Slowking, which again is a massive threat to the team. As they will opt to go for Protect to see what we do decide to go for. We will now just go for Surf. If they do want to switch out, they will just go back into their own pre-Marina. We do quite a bit of damage, which is fantastic and makes me think it's a bit more offense. But we do not have the greatest switch-ins into this, so we'll have to go for the Foot 10 here, get a bit more chip damage off, and then go into our Dana. Trace probably the Torrent, as they will just opt to go for Moonblast. They barely miss out the KO, but they do unfortunately get the Spectral Attack Chop. We have to go for the Side Shock here, as they will just go into the Iron Threads, which is fine. We can just we have to let Dana go down here. 342. I believe Summit is still outspeed, so I have to go into Summit. It's a speed tie, which is a bit risky, but we have to just go for the Air Power. We do outspeed, which is fantastic. We get rid of the Iron Threads. Again, really want to get some damage on that pre-Marina, as they will decide to go into Darkrai. My prediction is here that they will want to Sludge Bomb. So we just go stay in, tail ground, go for the air power again, and hope they went for the Sludge Bomb, as they did, which is fantastic. Now we can get the KO with an air power. Yet again. Get the KO on the Darkrai, and I think Summer can just win the game from here. Oh no, they do Telefly, and they do just opt to go for the Swords Dance, which does force us to switch out, unfortunately. And this could be game from here because of that, as they will now go for another Swords Dance, which does make complete sense if they do have Blade Bird, as a close combat can just KO us from this position, which is unfortunate. Very, very close game. Indeed, we can just stay in here, go for the knockoff, but they can just go for the Flare Blitz. And here we have to just lock ourselves into Moonblast, but it won't matter, unfortunately. Quite close game indeed. A lot of threats on the opponent's side. Knowing that they went for the Blaze Complaint there, maybe I should have just switched straight out into Marina there. Because it kind of was reading that they would go Tail that turn. My misplay on my part right there. But let's go on with the next game. Here is our next matchup here. Massive threat being the Goldango, defensively the Skarmory. And we all know the Rillaboom is such a massive threat to the team. Could I predict the Skarmory or the Goldango here? So we can just go into Marina, as they actually will opt to go to Rotom Wash, which does make a lot of sense. I'm just opt to go for Flip Turn here, as unfortunately they do miss their Thunder Wave right there, which is unfortunate for them. We can go into probably Dana here, and opt to just go straight for a nice Moonblast. We barely miss out on the KO. They do get the Thunder Wave off on us, but getting some nice damage on this massive threat. As they will go for Pain Split, and we unfortunately do get fully powered, as they now can full switch out. They do get the clip. But having this thing worn down a bit later on will be fantastic for us. So it is from the wave of non-Will-Wisp, which is also a important note. They are most likely going to switch in Goldango or Skarmory here. They will bring in the Goldango. Goldango does take a lot of damage. It makes me think it's very offensive. We'll have to bring in Amy here, as they will just opt to go for the Hex. We can just stay in here, go for a knockoff, no reason not to. On the Rotom, getting rid of the leftovers for that longevity is going to be fantastic for us. We can just bring back in Dana here, in case they just want to go for the Thunder Wave. As they do, we can now just go for a Shadow Ball instead. In case they want to full switch out, we should live. We do not live a Hydro Pump though. As we can probably just go into Marina maybe. Go potential Moonblast. Yeah, I think we're just going to go for Marina here. Go for the Moonblast, as we let them Thunder Wave us. Barely miss out on the KO right there. And then we can opt to go for Flip Turn, as they will go for the Pain Split, which is good play on the opponent. Again, this Rotom is very scary. In fact, as we can now just go into Zoro, actually, go for the Encore on the Pain Split, and then we can get a free Swords Dance off here, as they will go into Goldango. We can go for a knockoff, get the KO, which is fantastic. Massive threat out the way. Unfortunately, we did have to let that Rotom get back to healthy, but it does seem to be that offensive. And it does seem to be more weaker too on the physical side. And plus, judging by this team, we do not need the we do not need the speed to outspeed everything. So we can always save 0 for later on as well, which will be fantastic for us. I can see them bringing in Skarmory here, and we could potentially Tele, Steal, and go for close combat. Other mon, which I'm very scared of, is the Raging Bolt. So I really might want to save the Tele for Summer, as they will go into Rillaboom. We can just go into Dapper here, as they most likely go for the Grassy Glide. No, they go for Drum Beating, which is very interesting. We can now just go for the String Steam here, as they will opt to go for U-turn. Getting a bit of chip on this mon will be fantastic. So maybe it's a bit more defensive this Whaleboom. We can get the String Steam off in case the Ogerpon might want to come out, in case the Rotom does. I don't think they will bring in Raging Bolt against this mon, as they will bring out Skarmory, which does make sense. We can just go for the Will-O-Wisp here, so they will never be in steady range. And if they start to set up entry hazards, we still have Defog, and with Gordongo gone, there's no way they can stop that. As they will now go back into the Rotom Wash, which does make a lot of sense. Don't like how low Primarina is getting. So they might probably just go for either the Full Switch here, or I could potentially see them going for the Thunder Wave. Which, if they go to the Thunder Wave on Amy, I am a bit scared of, but we have to make that play, as that's what they will opt to do. They do decide to just go for the Thunder Wave. Honestly, I could see them trying to Pain Split at some point. But I'm just going to stay here, go for a Play Rough, as they do opt to stay in. We do connect our Play Rough. We do get a crit, which is very unfortunate for the opponent, and the Rotom does go down. Amy's on a roll today, which is honestly fantastic. Again, one of my favourite Gen 9 ones, Tickaton is in general, and it's just awesome to see it really perform well now. And definitely could see the Raging Bolt or the Ogerpon come out here. The Ogerpon I am a bit scared of. We do have Dapper to kind of counter it, but that Ivy Coat will get to quit. We are in a very unfortunate situation. We could also switch into Zero Predicting Swords Dance, as they will just go back into Whaleboom. We can always just go back into our Dapper here, as they will just go for the high horsepower, which is completely fine. No reason not to Will-O-Wisp here in case they want to switch out into the Ogerpon. Even the Raging Bolt will be fine here. Just get that nice residual damage. As the Skarmory does come out back out, and we missed the Will-O-Wisp, which is very unfortunate. We can just go for the Will-O-Wisp again, as they will opt to stay in, set up a layer spikes, which is completely fine. We can just String Steam from here, and then once they set up their third spikes, as they do not do, they do just want to boost the damage away, as we can now just Defog. And then we can potentially go into Summer maybe. Summer Mystical Fire does seem like an alright play to do, so we're just going to do that. As they will set up another layer of spikes, we can always Defog later on. We can just now go for a Mystical Fire. Even if they do switch out into the Ogerpon, which I am very scared of, we should just go straight into Dapper, as they will just decide to go into Whaleboom, which is going to take a lot from the Mystical Fire, which is fantastic. We can just go for the Mystical Fire again, and no reason not to. And this should get the KO, even if they do Grassy Glide here, as they will just go back into Skarmory, and Skarmory barely survives right there. As we can just go for the Mystical Fire again, get the KO on the Skarmory, which is fantastic. As they will now go into Raging Bolt, which I was definitely fearing. We have to go into Amy here, and then bring back into Summer, and then go for a nice Telegram Boy. This could also force them maybe to Tele, but I highly doubt it. And we still have Zero in the back too, so we will just go into Amy here, as they will just opt to go for Carmine, which makes complete sense. We could Tele Ground here, but they could still be faster. Yet they are faster than us, so there's no reason not to. We have to just go for Play Rough here, as unfortunately they get the crit on Amy right there. We do lower their attack, but very unfortunate. We could Teleground now, but I really want to save that for Summer. So we just stay in here and unfortunately let Amy go down. We bring back into Summer, we can Teleground, go for Air Power, and hope we can get the KO from here. We barely miss out on it, but it will go down from this position, which is fantastic. And now the Ogerpon comes out, which is a massive threat to the team. We have to bring in Dapper here, as they will just straight away go for the Ivy Cudgel. We should be fine here if they do not deck the Quit, or they might get greedy and go for the Swords Dance. As they will just Terror Water, which does make complete sense. They will get the Oko on us with Ogerpon. At this point, we could go into Summer, then into Zero, which does seem like the best play to do. So we can just go for Moonblast right here, get as much damage as we can, then go back into Zero, go for the close combat, get the KO, which is fantastic. As they will now bring in Wellaboom, and if this is Grassy Glide, I think it is just over from here, but we have to let Marina go, as it is revealed to be Grassy Glide. We have to go for close combat here, and we survive, which is awesome. We get the close combat, such a close game, GG, and wow, that was such an intense game too right there. Definitely switching out right there was the correct play, because I knew Marina would just go down anyway to a Grassy Glide from that point. So if there's any chance for Zero to survive, that physical attack would be fantastic. Very, very close game. Came down to the wire right there. Awesome to see. And let's go into our third game. We are in our third game here, and it looks to be a balanced team, with the defensive mons being probably the Garganackle and the Alamoa, and the rest probably being more offensive. Definitely feeling the Garganackle this matchup. I think I want to lead off with Amy predicting the Garganackle, as they lead with Alamoa, which does make sense. We can just get a nice knockoff, as they reveal to be heavy duty boots. Hope they don't get the ban on Amy, which they do not. Go switch into Marina here. Do not mind, obviously mind if Marina gets banned here. And then we can just make a safe, we should be faster, so we can just go for the Moonblast if they want a flip turn. As they do just want flip turns, again, getting it very low is fantastic. And again, we should be faster than the Galarian Slowking, so we can just go for the flip turn into Amy here. As we do have the Mold Breaker, as they will go for Chili's Reception, go back into Alamoa, which does make sense. This is definitely going to be a long game. We have to go back into Marina here. Again, don't really want any other mon to be banned, maybe apart from the Gardevoir. So right here, we can just go for Moonblast KO, and they probably know that we can get the KO. So in fact, we're just going to go for Psychic Noise, predict the Galarian Slowking, which is fantastic. Then we can just opt to go for the flip turn, back into Amy again, just in case they want a Focusite or Sludge Bomb. As they do want a Focusite, so we will just go for the knockoff here, back into the Alamoa. Knowing that the Focusite is also a problem here, we can just go into Dana, trace the Regenerator. Do not mind about the ban at all, as the Focusite will just come out this turn. And at this point, we can just go for a Shadow Ball, predicting the Galarian Slowking, as they will just go for Protect, which is completely fine. Shadow Ball should still be doing a lot to Alamoa, as it will do. We do get flip turned, which is unfortunate, as they now will bring in Garganackle, which does make a lot of sense. Pretty scary this mon, especially if it starts going for Salt Cures. So we could go into Amy here, and I still am thinking of it. It's either that, or we can just go into Zero here, and I think that's the better play, because we do not need our booster speed at all, as they will opt to just go for the Soul Cure. We can just go for Sword Dance here, as they will bring in Slowking. We can now just go for a knockoff, and hopefully get the KO. No, they will bring Alamoa, but Alamoa should not take a close combat from this range. So they definitely have to switch out into the Anomalous, which does make perfect sense. We still do 50% to that Mon, which is really, really good. We can just bring back out Amy here. Even if they do go for the air power, we can always switch into Dapper or our own Anomalous, as they do predict us to do that, and they do go into our Moa. We can now just go back into Dana, trace the Regenerator, as they will now just opt to go for Scald. And from this position, we will just go for Shadow Ball again, as they will most likely go for a nice flip turn here. So get the Shadow Ball off, do a nice bit of damage. We will take the flip turn, they will go back into Garganacle. We can always just go back into 0 from this position now, as they will just go off to go for the Soul Cure yet again. And predicting the Alamoa, we could actually just bring in our Summer here, as they will opt to actually go for Protect. So from this position, honestly, I do really like Summer's Terror here, so I think that's what we're going to do. We just go Terror and an Air Power. Get a lot of damage on this Garganacle, which will be fantastic for late game. They are most likely going to switch out into the Anomalous, so we just go into Amy here on the potential Anomalous, as they will actually opt to go for Protect. We can now just go for Gigaton Hammer. Does a bit of damage to the Almoa, nothing too crazy though. We can just go back into Dana, get that nice Regenerator again, as they will now opt to go for Wish. Probably try to get that Garganacle back to full HP, so now we'll just focus on going for the Moonblast. In case they want to bring back in Summer, they will just go for the Protect here, which does make complete sense. We will barely miss out on the KO right there, but the team is getting lower by the second, which is fantastic. Getting very, very scared about Blaziken here, especially we let this Mon get up a 3 Swords Lance. But we have to go into Dapper here, as they will bring in Galarian Slowking. They should only have Future Sight as a Psychic type move, as that's what they will decide to go for. They can now obviously just go for Chilly Reception here, maybe back into Garganacle. So we're saying here, go for String Esteem, as they will just go for Chilly Reception. And they will bring back in our Moa. I think the Future Sight is this turn, so Dana should be able to take the Future Sight, as they will bring back in Galarian Slowking, which does make a lot of sense. And we can just go back into Amy now, and they probably realise that Dana is a threat to the team, so they might want to go for Sludge Bomb, as they will do, which does make perfect sense here. We can try go for the knockoff here. No, they will not let the damage get in, and then we can just go back into Dana here. Again, if they opt to go for Wish, we will just go for the Moonblast, not letting that Garganacle heal up. As yep, that's what they will decide to do, so we will just go for, we could also go for Side Shock, but I don't think it will KO from that range, as they will now just bring back in the Galarian Slowking. We do lower their special attack too, and now Dana's back at full health. Really, really, really powerful Mon against all teams, to be honest. Maybe any choice Mon in general, just be able to chase that Regenerator is incredible. So we just go back into Amy here, nice safe play, as they will now go back into Garganacle. We will just go for Gigaton Hammer here, no reason not to. And then we can just bring back in Dana to probably try to get a bit a health back for the Garganacle. We can now just opt to go for 2 Side Shocks, should be able to KO here. But they do protect to scale what we will go for. Unfortunately, we are Joy Specs. So I don't know if that means the Almo is going to really stay in, try to get a Skull Burn. We still do quite a bit of damage to the Almoa. And they will now bring in the Garganacle. We'll stay in here, go for a Side Shock. This could potentially make them want to heal. And we will have to go into Amy here, as they will just opt to go for the Stealth Rocks. And we're just going to actually bring in Dapper here to get rid of them Stealth Rocks. Unfortunately, the Garganacle is back nearly to full. We still have 0 late game still as well, as they will bring in the Armor. We can just happily go for Defog. But at some point we have to probably bring Summit in again, as they will opt to go for Scald, and unfortunately they get the burn. But that's not the biggest worry in the world. We can just go bring back in our Dana here, as they will bring in the Slowking. I am going to predict that they're not going to go for Sludge Bomb here and go for a nice super effective Shadow Ball. Gets a lot of damage, as they do just kill your Reception out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, just don't have a lot of great switching into the Garganacle here, but we still are Terror Ground. So we will just go into our Summit here on the potential Soul Cure. As that's what they will opt to go for, we can honestly go for Moonblast this time. As they most likely will bring in the Galarian Slowking now. So we would actually switch into... And we could switch into Amy here on the potential. Oh no, they do predict us here, and they do opt to stay in, and Amy getting that a lot of damage off is not good for the team. We will bring out in Summer, as they will bring our Moa out, which is honestly fantastic. At this point I do actually want a Healing Wish, as they will bring back in the Galarian Slowking. We will bring back in Zero here. And I don't believe we've knocked off their item yet, so that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to try and knock off their item, as they will bring in our Moa, which does make a lot of sense here. We will just go into Dana. Again, very, very long third game here. Get the Regenerator off, as they will just opt to go for Scald. We can just go for a Moonblast here. No reason not to be honest. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a very, very, very story game at the moment. The core of our Mola, Galarian Slowking and Garganacle is very hard to break, as they will now bring in the Slowking. We do lower their special attack, which will come in handy. We do get our Regenerator off, as they will just go for Chilly Reception. They could bring in Blaziken here, try get the push. As they will just bring out a Namoris, which is quite interesting. We can just go for Gigaton Hammer here. We will take the Mystical Fire, get the Gigaton Hammer off, which is fantastic, getting that Mon right down. I know it looks a bad situation because of the Sludge Bombs, but honestly, if we get Zero into a point where we can try get at least one KO on this core, will be fantastic. We will now just go into Dana, as they will just opt to go for the flip turn, predicting us to switch out. They will bring in the Galarian Slowking here. We can definitely see the Fuchsite most likely come here, as they will just opt to go for the Sludge Bomb. We can honestly double switch into our Marina, because the only thing that can really take on Marina is the Slowking. So we will bring in Marina, and then we can just opt to go for a nice Moonblast. Get some nice damage off. Then we can opt to just go for Flip Turn. And if we get to throwing range, it will be fantastic. We can just bring back an out Amy here, as it will just kill your Reception out. But again, Zero does look fantastic. The only issue is that there's no damage being done on that Great Tusk. We definitely keep a Dapper around for the Great Tusk, as they will now go into Blaziken here, which again is a very, very scary mon. Especially now we've lost our summer. And we have to go into Marina here, as they will opt to go for the Sword Dance. It all comes down to if Marina can take a close combat from this range. If not, it's a bit unfortunate. Let's hope Marina can take a nice close combat or a flare blitz, and we don't. So this is most likely game here, which is unfortunate. We can go into 0 here, just let them get a KO. Again, Blaziken is a really, really scary mon for this team to against. Might need to try a telecounter that. Again, but the telecounter will be with Dapper, with Telewater, but then if Blaziken and Well be on the same team, it could be very, very scary. As we can, unfortunately, we have lost this matchup right here. Very, very, very long game. Which again is unfortunate. Maybe I could have switched out into Dana here to waste the speed boost and try to get a nice speed time. But GG, unfortunate right there. Again, very, very defensive core right there with Gorgonackle, Galarian Slowking, and the Almoa. If that Gorgonackle wasn't there, we could have just Shadow Balled for free for the most part. But let's not dwell on it, and let's go into our 4th game. Here is our 4th game right here with a nice defensive threat of the Moltres this time. Again, still got issues with the Slowking, plus the Dragon Pult can just be a really, really nasty offensive threat for us to against. Dana looks really, really good here, especially if we can get the KO on the Dragon Pult. But in fact, I'm going to believe that they might lead off with the Klefki here, believing that it could be screened, so we could lead off with Amy. But I'm just going to lead off with Marina, just to be safe in case it is the Great Tusk, as they will lead with Dragon Pult. So I think that was definitely the correct play. We can just go for a nice free Moonblast. Even if they do switch out with Galarian Slowking, that is fine. They will just opt to go for the U-turn, so it's either could be all physical or mixed. And they will now just go into Klefki. We will just go for the flip turn here, as they will just opt to go for the Thunder Wave. So gotta be very, very careful with that move. We can just bring in Amy here, try to go for a nice Gigaton Hammer. As they will just opt to Thunder Wave again, we can just go for Gigaton Hammer, get the KO on the Klefki, which is honestly fantastic. And we can actually stay in here, go for Play Rough, as they will opt to go for Substitute, and unfortunately we get fully powered. And they will go for Hex, but yeah, Hex won't be doing much, and we know this is a mix set now. And we're going to go for Knockoff here, predicting the Moltres to come out. As it turns out to be the Great Tusk. We get rid of their leftovers, so it's definitely more defensive. We can now just go into Dapper here, as they will opt to just go for Rapid Spin. Is it Bulk Up? Potentially could be Bulk Up, as they will now just go for a Knockoff, and we can get the Will-O-Wisp off. And unfortunately, yet again, we do unfortunately miss, and that gives them a perfect time to go into Galarian Slowking. And unfortunately, we miss again. I am definitely feeling the Sludge Bomb here, so we have to go into Amy, but I'm quite scared if they do have the Flamethrower, as they will just go for the Focusite. We will just go for Knockoff here, again in case that Moltres does want to come out. If not, getting some nice residual damage on the Great Tusk will be very, very beneficial. As they will opt to go into Great Tusk, again getting some nice little chip damage. We can just go into Dapper, as they reveal to be Bulk Up, and I completely forgot about Focusite yet again. But they did not Rapid Spin, so this does give us a perfect chance to go into Dana and opt to just go straight for the Moonblast. And very, very unfortunate. Really do not want this Great Tusk coming in too much against our Mons. So it's Bulk Up, Rapid Spin, potentially Earthquake and Ice Spinner. And we still do have our Zero in the back too. If we get that Moltres way down, Zero can most likely sweep and get that Marina a bit wore down too. So yeah, we will just go straight for the Moonblast here. Oh no, they possibly are max speed. As they are not, we do get the KO, which is fantastic. We will trace the Flame Body. We can just go into Marina from here, as they will just opt to go for U-turn, which is good play on the opponents. They will bring in back in the Galarian Slowking. We'll have to bring back in Amy here, as they will opt to go for Sludge Bomb, which is fantastic. This goes a 3-0 knockoff if we didn't get fully powered, and they do reveal to have Fire Blast. So now they will bring back in the Moltres. And again, very, very unfortunate right there. We can just bring back in our Marina, as they will just opt to stay in, go for Flamethrower. We will flip turn out, predicting the Galarian Slowking, as the Slowking will in fact come out. We can just flip turn here, and honestly just go back into Amy, get another knockoff off, as we do land this time, and it is Assault Vest. They do opt to go for Focus Sight too, which does make sense. They did unfortunately get a KO last time. We can now just go for Gigaton Hammer, get as much damage as possible on the Moltres. I do not think they're going to Flamethrower this turn. I generally think they are going to Roost. So we're just going to bring in Dana here, because Dana is a safe middle ground play, as they will actually opt to go for Flamethrower. We can take it, and then we can honestly just go for Shadow Ball from this position, as they will bring in the Galarian Slowking. Barely miss out on the KO, but we're going to get the KO on the next one, as we force in the Primarina, which is fantastic. Does reveal to be leftover, so a bit scared that it could be Substitute Calm Mind. A bit scared of that. So we could actually bring in Zero here in case they want to Calm Mind. So we bring in Zero, as they will just go straight for the Moonblast and unfortunately get the KO. Bit of an over prediction on my part there. But now we can just bring back in Dana, go for the Side Shot. Barely miss out on the KO, as they will finish it off with a Moonblast. But from this position, Summer looks really, really, really good. So we can just go lock ourselves into Moonblast, get the KO on the Primarina, which is fantastic. They will bring in Dragapult, but we are Chewy Scarf, so this will get the KO on the Dragapult, and it's definitely getting close to endgame here, as they unfortunately disable. Unfortunately, they do get the Disable on us. We have to go into Amy here, which they will just opt to go for Focus Sight, which does make a lot of sense. And honestly, I think we gotta let Amy go down against the Moltres. We will just go for Gigaton Hammer here on the Moltres. Get it very, very low. They definitely are going to Roost right now. And as we will stay in, we can now just go into our Primarina, as they will opt to go for another Roost. We will just go for Flip Turn here, as they will go for the U-turn, which is honestly fantastic, along with them get fully powered here. Now we can bring back into Summer. We have to probably Teleground here, go for the Air Power, as they predict us to do that, unfortunately. And that does mean Amy has to go down here. And we're actually going to save, thinking that they might predict us to stay in, as we get fully powered, which is very unfortunate. We have to bring back out into Summer here. Take the Sludge Bomb. We have to double here to predict the switch out, as they will just stay and go for the Ice Beam. which is very scary. We have to just go for safe here, as they will go for Fukusite. So we can go for safe, get the KO, and it all comes down as long as we do not get fully. In fact, I think what's best here is go into Summer, let Summer go down, go back into Marina, go for safe, and they do reveal the Hurricane. So it all comes down if they miss the Hurricane or not. They will tell a Fairy too, and we get fully powered, which is so unfortunate, and that's GG. Don't know if we could have KO'd from that range. A very, very close game. Very unfortunate, and let's go into our 5th game. Our next matchup here, very threatening team yet again, especially the Iron Moth. We do have Telewater on the Pre-Marina to deal with the Iron Moth. Gakigo lead off with Marina. I think it's a really good switch into most of these, as they will bring in Iron Moth. We will just Telewater, Telesurf straight away, as they will bring in Goldango. And we get the crit, we get the Oko, which is fantastic. So, wow, Marina really came in clutch there. Unfortunately, with that last game too, as they will now just go into Rolling Moon, which does make sense. We can just go into Dapper here and take the knockoffs, as they will reveal that it is the Atabatic set. We can take one, we definitely cannot take another though, but we do get the Burn, which is very good. And then we can bring in Zero, which seems a Photosynthesis attack. They will actually stay in here, go for another Dragon Dance. We can just go for Pain Split here, as they will go for another Acrobatics, which does put us in a tough spot. But I believe that Amy could possibly take an Earthquake from this range, as we don't. Is this already a sweep? It'd be very unfortunate if it is. We have to go into Summer here, go for Moonblast. And unfortunately, Summer does not take it either. Maybe we should have just went into Pre-Marina to begin with. Pre-Marina does not take it, and that is, unfortunately, the quickest game we've had. We can just go for Side Shot, but that is game. Very unfortunate right there. Honestly, I try to think of what we could have done differently. I think just the team was a bit too glass cladding, and they just seen that, and they really played well there. Maybe we shouldn't have switched out. Maybe we should have stayed in and Moonblast. I think that's the only play we could have done, which is unfortunate. But let's go into our final game. And this is the final game here with a King Gambit and a Galarian Slowking. Yet again with the Landorus. So I'm going to lead off with Marina, predicting Landorus. Could potentially see the Galarian Slowking, but we can always flip out into our Amy here. And unfortunately, this could be another 4-2 situation, or a 5-1 situation, which I really don't want. So hopefully we can win this last game. But yeah, maybe I should have saved the Teller. Maybe I Tellered a bit too quickly there. Because if we Teller Steel there, we should be fine against the Rolling Moon, as they will lead off with the Landorus. So we will just go for Surf, unless they will want to switch out here. As they do want to switch out, probably into Ogerpon or Slowking. They will just go into Slowking here. And we do take quite a bit of damage, so maybe it's not as special defensive as normal ones. Maybe it's more offensive. So we will just go for the flip turn here to see what they will want to do. We can just go into Amy, as they will just kill Reception out. Yeah, makes sense. A nice safe play for the opponent to do. They might bring back in the Landorus, and if they do, we have to go into Dapper. As they will go into Landorus, we will just go straight into Dapper here. No reason not to. And honestly, we can will risk the whole team there enough. So we should really take advantage of that. As they will predict us, as they will predict the Dapper switching, or they thought we was going to go for Stealth Rock, staying in. So they reveal Taunt, they can just go for Stealth Rocks here. We do have Stranger Steam now. Not a bad move at all. We will get some Rocky Helmet chip on the Landowis. They will just go back into the Galarian Slowking. We do not get the Confusion. We can just go for Defog here. They either go for Fukusite or kill your second out again. And that's the play you can definitely see them doing. And they do just opt to Sludge Bomb. We do take it, but barely. We have to go into Amy here. Probably going to kill your second out. Yeah, back into most likely is the Landorus. So we'll have to go back into Dapper again. Very unfortunate that I let Dapper go down that low that quickly, not down. Especially with the Zamazenta. Honestly, I think the biggest problem with the team is just how fragile it is. But I think the massive issue with the team in general is just how much poison types are in the meta with fire types. So yeah, we did get that prediction right. So Dapper is now nice and green health. We can just go straight into Amy. If they do want to switch out, they will just stay and go for the Fukusite here. This does give us free time to just go for knockoff on that Landowis. Probably Rocky Helmet. Yep. But we gotta remember that it's next turn the Fukusite will land. But they cannot KO us with an air power, so I'm actually gonna stay here and go for a Gigaton Hammer. Do not want to let Dapper go down that this early. Again, could be another 4-2 situation. Again, I just hope we can climb back up. As they will go for the air power. We can just go for Gigaton Hammer, get the Landorus out, which is fantastic. We still have some healing wish if we need Amy later on against the Galarian Slowking. And now they will bring one massive threat in being Ogerpon. This does give them a free range to Ivy Cudgel or to set up Sword Dance. They do opt to go for the Ivy Cudgel. We will have to go for Will-Wisp here, and then they Telewater. I keep forgetting about Tele. And unfortunately, Dapper does go down, which is a massive shame. We still have some of that outspeed, and we still have Zero as well. That does outspeed, but we probably need to let them both go down together to even stand a chance, unfortunately. So we will have to go into Summer, I say first, go for the Moonblast, and then we can just bring in Zero, go for the close combat. As they will opt to stay in, go for the Ivy Cudgel, get the KO. We can now just go into Zero, go for the close combat, and hopefully pick up a KO on this mon. If not, we could definitely see a full switch out. But we have forced the Teller, which is good news. Just really hope that Zamazenta is not Heavy Slam. They will bring in the Galarian Slowking, which is interesting. I think we have to Teller here to try get a bit of momentum back and honestly go for the Sword Dance, which I am going to do. As they will opt to stay in, go for Fukusite, we will just go for close. We just go for the knockoff, get the KO on the Galarian Slowking, which is fantastic. They definitely go bring in the Zamazenta now. Definitely can see that mon coming in. And then we'll have to probably keep Amy around for the King Gambit and the Kiram. So maybe, unfortunately, Dana might have to go down here. So we'll just go into Dana in case they do go for the Heavy Slam. As they do just go for the Iron Defense. So we will just go for Moonblast here. If they are Heavy Slam, we still got our Marina in the back that we can definitely go for Moonblast for. And Zoro is still nice in the back to help deal with the KOM. Just very scared late game with that King Gambit. As they do switch out into KOM, and we will get the KO, which is fantastic. Did not expect that at all. So that probably reveals to me that it is not. And unfortunately I have to let Dana go down here, but we still got Marina in the back. That does reveal that it most likely is not Heavy Slam. So we will just go into Zoro here. No reason not to click close combat right now. I'm not going to get greedy with the Sword Dance. But Slam Center should still be taking quite a bit of damage from this, because it's not now, it doesn't rely on this. Now that it's still a shield has been used up. We can now just go into Marina here. As they will go for Body Press, we can just go for Moonblast. And this point, I don't know if Ogerpon can take a hit from it. If not, we might have to let Amy go down, as they will just go straight into King Gambit, and we do get the crit as well. So very, very risky move on opponents. Fortunately for them, I don't think it paid off, and unless they're max speed, we should be outspeeding. As they will just go for Sucker Punch, we can just get the KO with the Surf, which is fantastic. That, I know what they're doing, they're relying on I think we just might have lost the game here, because now the Zama Center, how much did the Zama Center do last time with a Body Press? Was around here, right? Did 22%, so we have to keep Marina alive. We have to let Amy go here. They will now go for Agricultural. We have to go into Zero here, go for close combat. Oh no, but we are still slower. So, I predict that they go for the Iron Defense to guarantee the KO on Zero. Not Zero, on our Marina. So if they do that, I will go for the Encore. And then Sword Dance, and then hopefully 2 close combat can do it from here. So we're just going to go for Encore, as they do just go straight for the Body Press. It all comes down to a 1v1 yet again. We should be able to take a Body Press, as we do, and we barely miss out on, we barely get victory right there. Unfortunately, we did finish negative with a nice with an unfortunate 4-2. Very close game at the end right there. But definitely need to check to make sure that we need a Marina alive for the end game. Again, very, very close games. We've had close games all around. I'd say 4 out of the 6 games obviously we had was very close. Unfortunately, we lost badly to the Store team, and we just got wiped against the Rolling Moon. Again, I think I telered a bit too soon, which is unfortunate. I think if we didn't tell her and we tell her Dapper instead, there would have still been a chance. Not 100%, because we could have still got KO'd with a knockoff. But with all that said, I'll see you on the MVP screen. Back on the MVP screen, today's MVP is still Marina, staying so strong with 26 KOs. Very, very awesome that we took that last hit with the Body Press right there. Honestly, awesome to see. And yeah, what a fantastic mon in general Marina has been. But one mon that's really surprised me today has been Amy. I think Amy was on 10 KOs before we started, and now is on 17 KOs with all them nice crits that she got. Taking down the Landowis. Honestly, awesome to see Amy really perform very well. Again, really tough day today, but again, it's Pokemon's gonna happen. We had some bad days, some good and bad days. Again, don't know if the Pals leaking on the Marina mattered against him, Voltrez right at the end there. Don't know. Have to look into it. But if it did, again, it's Pokemon at the end of the day, nothing you can do about it. And if you didn't, well, again, just a bit. Again, if it didn't, then it's just well played on my opponent as well. But yeah, honestly, awesome to see. But yeah, I think the main weakness of a modern Fairy team, then I was not really expecting. It's just how many poison and steel types are really running the meta. At this current point, especially so many physical fire threats such as Gorgon Fire, Blaziken, really massive threats. And yeah, with all that said, that's day 5, and if you enjoy Pokemon content in general, please just subscribe to the channel. Again, 3 subs away from 50 subscribers, would really appreciate if you could get there. And most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day.